Hey, my name is Josh. I'm with NOMO Films. Today I'm going to review the MOZA Air 2. MOZA sent it to me and I've been playing around with it for the past few weeks, so I wanted to give you my opinion. Let's get started. The first thing I wanted to mention is that none of our videos are sponsored in any way. So we use gimbals all the time on our shoots, and some of the companies just send us the gimbals to review, and that's about it. Now, that out of the way, the gimbal that I use the most, that I like the most, is the MOZA AirCross. It's a few years old, but I really find that the motors on it are strong. I fly an A7 III and an A7S II camera on it, and I find it's the most stable footage that I can get out of a gimbal, out of all the gimbals that I've tried. Now that being said, this gimbal here seems like the motors are obviously a lot more powerful, but along with that comes the weight. It's a lot heavier. And so the first thing I noticed was the weight. When I put my camera on here, I thought my arms were going to get really tired, and I wasn't going to be able to use it for long periods of time without a lot of strain. But actually, after shooting for a few weeks on it, I realized that I got used to it and it didn't seem heavy at all, until I went back to this one, of course. So now I'll show you some of the sample footage that we shot with the Panasonic S1 and an A7 III. We were shooting that in Canada, Portugal, and some other places. Here we go.
It feels so good, it feels so good, it feels so good. Oh my, gonna make my move. I'm all in, got nothing to lose. Oh my, gonna shake it off. It ain't no thing, it ain't no thing. Oh my, doing what I want. Gonna do my thing, do my thing. Way up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go, are you ready? Ready for more, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, you ready? Ready or not, we going. And I can't stop, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, oh my. Oh my, gonna hit it big. I got my eyes on the prize. Oh my, gonna spin the wheel, cash it in and roll the dice. Oh my, it's a thing of gold. All I do is win, all I do is win. Oh my, no one ever fold. Start it up, let the game begin. Way up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go, are you ready? Ready for more, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, you ready? Ready or not, we going. And I can't stop, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, oh my.
One thing that I really do like about this gimbal is that they added a dual base plate to it so that you can take the camera off and pack it away and then put the camera back on, and it will just lock back into place. So once you balance it, it's gonna always be balanced when you put it back on. But the problem is with the cameras that I have, so the Panasonic S1, the A7 III, the A7S II, is that when I balance it properly, this arm won't swing down. So if I want to pack this away, I'll take the camera off, and then I have to, unfortunately, I have to move this arm up, and it even has like a locking mechanism, which is genius. I love that. But again, I have to unbalance it basically in order to pack it away like this. And then when I take my camera back out, I have to rebalance it again. So that's a bit of a problem. One feature that I really like that they added on this gimbal is the ability to change the sensitivity of the way it pans and tilts, etc., on the fly. So with this dial here, you can rotate and it will change the sensitivity from anywhere from 0 to 100. I believe it's 0 to 100. And so I could be in the middle of a move and want to do a whip pan really quickly. And I could just dial this in very quickly, do my whip pan, and then put it right back down to say 10, where the sensitivity is a lot lower, and then make a nice smooth pan after that. So it makes it a lot easier for dynamic shots. The other thing that I really like about this gimbal is the ability to lock the gimbal at any point by triggering this trigger here. It basically stops it, so I could do a move, and then maybe at the end of the move I want to lock it and then follow a subject. So I would come down, you know, pan around and then lock, and then now we're locked and nothing will move. It's a pretty cool feature that the MOZA Air doesn't have. Another feature that I really liked is having the tilted back motor. I reviewed a few other gimbals like the AK4000 and the Weebill that also had this. I guess I just didn't really notice it that much back then, but just the ability to be able to see your monitor screen a lot better makes a huge difference. And also the ability to be able to put it into like faux inverted mode instead of actually inverting it like this. You know, you can put it into, faux inverted, which is like, you know, locking the axis here and then bringing it down as like this, and then the ability to get really low without having to invert it very quickly is really good. Whereas on the other gimbals like the MOZA AirCross, you can't do that because the motor will actually hit the camera. So you'd actually have to invert it, which is not a huge deal, but you have the ability to make a lot more creative shots. So maybe going from faux inverted all the way up and then back down, so you can get really low right to the ground and then bring it maybe a jib shot all the way to the top. Whereas with this, you could do that, but then you have to be in inverted mode the whole time, like this, and doing the crane shot up like this, it's just a lot harder to do. So having the faux inverted mode, or whatever you want to call that, is pretty cool. And you can only do that with a tilted back screen. Another cool thing that they have on the MOZA Air 2 is that all the settings are on the gimbal itself. So a lot of the other gimbals, you have to go grab your phone, go into Bluetooth, connect to it, and then, I don't know, maybe if you want to change the parameters on the smooth settings, on how smooth it's panning and these kind of things, you have to go into the app on some of the other gimbals. But this gimbal has it all on here, just like the AK4000. Makes a big difference because who wants to grab their phone every single time? You just go into the menu settings and you can tweak everything in here. So all in all, I love this gimbal. Having the ability to have stronger motors, fly heavier cameras, and get smooth shots because the motors are so strong when maybe you're a little bit unbalanced is really cool. I really like that. The only reason why I won't be using this gimbal is because when I pack it away, it just doesn't fit in any of my bags. So I'd have to have a separate case for it or a separate bag just for this gimbal to carry on shoots. And a lot of times we're hiking or we're in very remote places. So unfortunately, I just can't do that with this gimbal unless I'm flying a heavier camera where I need a gimbal this big. Really wish MOZA would give the ability to take this gimbal apart, just like the AK4000, so that it can be packable in a smaller bag. But because of that, I won't be bringing this on shoots, unfortunately, so I'm going to be sticking with my MOZA Air. But if you're looking for a gimbal that you want to fly a heavier camera, or if you want strong motors like this, then this gimbal is a great buy. I really wish that all these features on this gimbal were also added to the AirCross. I can't wait for MOZA to put out a new AirCross, because for me this gimbal is the best size, the best motor power, but I really love the features on the MOZA Air 2. So like I said, if you don't mind the extra weight and if you are not worried about packing it away anywhere, then this gimbal is a great gimbal to buy.